Hello and welcome in to One Trinity Place in San Antonio, Texas, as we're all set for a Division III matchup here on Friday night between the Babson Beavers and the newly #1 ranked Trinity University Tigers. The Beavers opening their season tonight here in San Antonio, just as they did 2 years ago, and the Tigers in their second series of the year. Their first one going against Wisconsin Whitewater. They won that series 3-1 against the defending national champions. We'll run through the lineups. First, starting with the Babson Beavers. Xander Teeter will lead things off for the Beavers, followed by Liss in right field. Kushner doing the catching. Grace at first base. Grindle at DH. Ozdovic in left. Wilson in center. Stevens at third base. And Harmon at shortstop. And on the mound for the Tigers, it will be Will Hellings. Hellings, the graduate student, made a start last weekend against Wisconsin Whitewater. Ultimately, the Tigers winning that game in his start, gave up 4 earned runs, got into the 6th inning. Tigers winning that one 5-4 on their way to the series victory. Xander Teeter to lead things off here in San Antonio. Tigers wearing their blacks on this Friday night game. Babson in all gray, ready to get their season going. Everybody in their positions, and we're off with pitch number 1 here in San Antonio. It's high, ball 1. Rolling through the numbers for Will Hellings this season, the ERA over 5 1/3 innings pitched in his one outing against Whitewater. Swing and a miss, strike 1 from Teeter. Count evens at 1-1. Hellings last season an ERA above 5, a 4-1 record overall, primarily pitching out of the pen, getting the opportunity to be in the rotation. Fouled off the end of the bat of Teeter, count 1-2. Last season, Hellings coming through in so many big moments for Trinity, particularly in their playoff run all the way to the College World Series. The 1-2. High, misses with the fastball, 90 out of the hand of Will Hellings. His biggest weapon is the speed difference between his two main pitches. 90 to 92 on the fastball, low 80s on the slider. The 2-2 fouled off again as Teeter continues to extend this at-bat, which has dragged on longer than Hellings likely would have wanted. Xander Teeter, a .386 hitter last season in 29 appearances, 23 starts. All NUMAC first team in 2025. Fouls off another one, the perfect guy that the Beavers want, leading off their offense in the first inning of every game. Somebody who's going to grind out at-bats just like he is now. The 2-2. Misses low and the count runs full. This at-bat just continuing for Will Hellings. Fouled off and we'll do it again. Will Hellings still looking for out number 1 as we're just underway here in San Antonio. Xander Teeter working this at-bat into double-digit pitches. Fouled off the last couple. Hellings trying to finish him off on the 3-2. Inside, ball 4. And an early leadoff walk worked by Xander Teeter. Teeter not known for his walks, especially after last year. Only walked 9 times the entirety of the year. Starts 2026 with his first walk of the season. Sets up Ryan Liss. Strike called. Liss, the junior from Hollywood, Florida, made 35 starts last year, a .325 batting averages. Works with a runner on first, nobody out. Pitch misses low, count 1-1. Ryan Liss went on 2 different 8-game hitting streaks last season. his impressive offensive season at the plate, over 1,000 OPS. Hellings checks on the runner at first and Teeter, who's able to get back safely. Teeter on first after his leadoff walk. Still nobody out in the inning. The 1-1 pitch to Liss, swing and a miss. Was fouled off, goes down as strike 2. Low 80s here in San Antonio as the sun begins to set over Trinity University. The 1-2 in the dirt. Riding has to throw the second, and it's a good one in time. Matthias Riding gunned down a runner at second in the opening series against Whitewater. Gets one here. So Riding already making the impact with his arm. The 2-2. Inside. Count runs full, 3-2, 1 down after Teeter was caught stealing by Matthias Riding. Strike 3 called. Hellings gets him looking with the fastball, 2 away. Gabe Kushner comes up to the plate. The sophomore made 23 starts last season, a .338 batting average. Takes the first pitch low, ball 1. As a first year last year, didn't find consistent playing time until mid-March, but once he did, never really gave up that spot in the lineup. Strike called, 1-1. Two down, nobody on for Hellings as the wind kicks up a little bit here in San Antonio. Strike called. Count 1-2. 2 down in the inning. Hellings trying to make it a scoreless one. Grounds one to short. Champness has to range over behind second base. Makes the throw a little offline. And 2 offline. Pulled Baker off the bag. Looked like he may have slipped as he made the throw. See if we can find a replay of it. Either way, caused Will Baker to leave the bag, and Kushner is safe at first. Go down as an E6. Ryan Grace now comes up to the plate, the cleanup hitter. 1 on, 2 down in the inning, a swing and miss at the first pitch. Grace, a graduate student, a native of Massachusetts. Transfer in his first year with Babson. Making his Beavers debut today. The 0-1. Waves at that pitch, and it's quickly 0-2. 2 runners have reached in this inning. Teeter on the leadoff walk. He was erased, caught stealing. And Kushner on the error from Cam Champness. Pitch outside, 1-2. Unfortunate for Champness, who had an excellent defensive series last weekend against Whitewater. His improvement notable defensively at shortstop, though making the error there. This is lined past the dive of Coney at second and into right field, getting all the way to the warning track. Singhania has to field it in center. And it goes down as a 2-out double for Grace. Beavers in business. Just past the outstretched arm of Coney. And pitching coach Dave Smith will come out for a mound visit. A first inning that has 2 outs, but Will Hellings has allowed 3 of the 4 batters he has faced to reach. It was Xander Teeter with the leadoff walk, was erased trying to get to second base. Struck out Liss, and then Kushner and Grace have reached in back-to-back plate appearances. They're on third and second, respectively. Grace getting the first hit of the night for Babson, as the Beavers have reached with a walk, an error, and a hit in this inning. Trying to capitalize and go up here. And you see the replay of the error from Champness. Saw him on the ground on the right side of your screen at the lip of the outfield grass. Looked like he may have slipped there. First pitch, a called strike. Grindle in the batter's box. The designated hitter, an opportunity to give Babson the early lead. Runners on second and third. Slider misses in the dirt, 1-1. The 1-1. Chop to third. Lustina makes the throw to first, and it ends the inning. Will Hellings gets out of the early jam and keeps this game scoreless. We'll head to the bottom of the first in San Antonio. You're watching Tiger Network. Welcome back to the Alamo City and the campus of Trinity University. Still 0-0 between Babson and the Tigers, as we'll run through the Trinity Tigers starting lineup. Leading off will be Callan Singhania, followed by Champness at short, Will Baker at first, Nick Jones doing the DHing today, Dixon in right, Lustina at third, Pierce Matthews in left, Cal Coney at second, and Matthias Writing doing the catching today to round things out. Pitching for the Beavers will be James Clark. Clark, the senior, throws his first pitch of the season, outside, ball one. Clark, the native of Massachusetts, 13 appearances last season, 8 starts, ERA of 5.5. Pitch rides inside, 2-0. Up and down season for Clark last year. 5+ innings pitched in 3 of his first 5 starts of the year. Finds the zone there, 2-1, but did not reach 5 innings pitched in the 8 following appearances. Just couldn't find the length. Trying to do that today, the opening day starter for Babson. Pitch misses outside, 3-1, as this is the Beavers' opening day. Have not played a game yet this season. The 3-1 to Singhania. And takes ball 4, a close pitch right on the outside edge. And Singhania, who's been thrusted into the leadoff spot today with the absence of Caleb Woodward, takes the leadoff walk, and it brings up Cam Champness. Champness, the senior from Katy, Texas. 25 starts last season. They check on Singhania, gets back safely. Hit .322 last year. 2 for 6 with 2 RBIs so far this season in 3 games played against the Warhawks last weekend. Check on Singhania again, gets back safely once again. Chapness drops down a bunt, goes right to Clark, makes the easy throw to first, and the sacrifice is complete. Singhania going to second. A runner in scoring position in the bottom of the first for Trinity. And it brings up the middle of this order. Will Baker, the first baseman. Baker, who had a 4 RBI game in Game 2 of the last series the Tigers played against Whitewater. Opportunity to add another one. Takes a strike. Baker, a .293 hitter last season. Currently leads the team in RBI with 5. They throw back to second, nearly gets into center field. Nobody there. Good thing Clark didn't throw it very hard. Xander Teeter at second base, able to back him up. Baker down 0-1. Strike called, inside edge. So far in this inning, a leadoff walk worked by Singhania. He waits on second, moved over by the sacrifice bunt of Chapness. That's the only out of the inning. The 0-2. Baker rips one into left field the other way. It gets down for a base hit. Singhania being waved in from second. He will score easily, and it's 1-0 Trinity. The 6th RBI of the season for Will Baker. Will Baker hitting the ball the other way there, right off the end of the bat. Just found it fair. And sprints into second. Easy double for him. Continues to lead the team in RBI. First hit of the game for Trinity. And they lead this game 1-0. Nick Jones into the batter's box. Takes ball 1. Jones at DH today, a .292 hitter last season. This year, 1 for 7 so far. Fouled off the end of the bat, 1-1. Tigers trying to keep him healthy this year. He's already dealt with a little bit of a hamstring issue, he said. Trying to keep him fresh. He missed 16 games last year due to injury. Such an important bat for them when he's going. The 1-1. Delayed strike called, now 1-2. Clark has already surrendered a run here. Trying to not allow any further damage. This is chopped foul right to the Tigers dugout. Tigers house on the third base side of Trinity University Ballpark. Now the 1-2. Takes the ball high, evens the count. 2-2 to Jones. Righty versus righty. Runner on second base is Will Baker. Jones fouls one to the top of the screen, and it stays 2-2. Baker driving in the Tigers' first run today, and only run so far, as Callan Singhania scored on his double to left field. The 2-2. Jones fouls it. Ahead of that pitch. Fouled off the last two. The count stays at 2-2. Tigers working with one out, trying to extend this lead. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. First strikeout of the season for James Clark. 2 away in this one. See what pitch he went with here. 88 out of the hand. Looked like the fastball. And it gets Jones. Will Dixon now up. Dixon only 1 hit last weekend for Trinity. And he sends this one deep to left field, going back towards the wall at the scoreboard, and it lands on the warning track. Baker scores easily from second. Dixon charging in for third, and it's a triple. Ball gets away for a second, but Dixon being told to stay where he is. RBI triple for Will Dixon. And once again, the Tigers hitting the ball the other way. This one just over everybody's heads all the way to the warning track. Right next to the 365 mark out in left center field. Makes it 2-0 Trinity as Lustina enters the batter's box. Takes strike one. Lustina, a .291 hitter last year. 1 for 8 so far this season. 2 walks, 2 RBI. Rips one into center field, falling fast, and it falls. Dixon comes in from third to make it 3-0. Fell right in front of the center fielder Wilson, and Michael Lustina adds another RBI to his ledger. Lustina's second hit of the season. This ball right in on the hands. Was wondering if it would hang up enough. Wilson was hoping it would hang up just a little bit longer, made the diving attempt. Unable to make the catch, and quickly the Tigers have jumped on James Clark. Takes a strike as Pierce Matthews is now in the batter's box. Matthews, the junior, hitting .409 so far this year. Rips one foul over the screen and out of play. Quickly down 0-2. Matthews 2 for 6, 4 RBI in 2 games against Wisconsin Whitewater. Lustina runs as the Tigers putting the pressure on. Throw is not in time. Goes down as the first stolen base of the year for Michael Lustina. The throw was close, but as you see on the replay, not in time. Tigers scoring 3 innings against Babson in the first inning that they play. Matthews, did he go? Yes, he went around, and that will end the inning, but not before the Tigers put up a crooked number, already up 3-0 here in San Antonio. We'll head to the second on Tiger Network. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. Tigers quickly up 3-0 on the Babson Beavers in their first game of the season. Hellings fires pitch 1 of the second inning. Just misses ball 1 to Ryan Hosdovic. Hosdovic, the senior from Hillsborough, New Jersey. Takes a ball, count now 2-0. Made 16 appearances, 12 starts last season, a .239 average. Finished the year 1 for 23. Trying to rebound after a rough finish and drives one to left field. Matthews going back all the way to the warning track at the wall and makes the catch. Pierce Matthews fielding his position in left field and 1 down. Looked like he maybe misread this ball at first. We'll see it. All of a sudden realized he had to run to get back, able to jump and just get that ball. Looked like it would have hit the top of the wall. So robbing Hosdovic of extra bases. Goes down as a very close F7. Alexander Wilson now in the batter's box. Wilson playing center field today. Saw Michael Ustina's base hit fall right in front of him. A .294 hitter last year. That in 34 at-bats and 17 appearances. Didn't play much last season, but became more of a regular starter in early April. Really found his place in this lineup. Working with nobody out, or excuse me, one down and nobody on in the second inning. Pitch rides inside, but called a strike. Count 1-2. This one tapped foul. Wilson ahead of it. Sun continuing to set in San Antonio. No sunlight left on the field. 6 p.m. first pitch here on the campus of Trinity University. Pitch misses from Hellings. Count even 2-2. Tigers jumping on Babson, up 3-0 after the first inning. Hellings trying to protect that lead now, and swing and a miss from Alexander Wilson. Second strikeout of the game for Will Hellings, 2 gone in the inning. See how Hellings got this strikeout. It's the slider, 84 out of the hand. That paired with the 92-mile-per-hour fastball, tough to deal with. This one rides inside and hits Owen Stevens. So the first hit batter of the game for Will Hellings. And Babson trying to claw back into this game with 2 outs in the second. Brings up Gabe Harmon, senior from Cape Elizabeth, Maine. Making his debut with Babson, his first year with the program. Chops one, foul. Count quickly 0-1. Beavers with a base runner in their second consecutive inning. Had 3 batters reach in the first inning. Couldn't come up with any runs, though. Hellings checks on the runner at first, and Stevens dives back safely. Count 0-1. Pitch to Harmon, misses low. Evens the count at 2-2. Now the 1-1. Breaking ball finds the zone, strike 2. Hellings able to bend that slider in there. Stevens takes his lead at first. Harmon thought about going. Did he go around? No signal yet. And the first base umpire says he swung. That ends the inning. Second strikeout of the frame for Will Hellings takes us to the bottom of the second. Tigers up 3-0 on Tiger Network. Welcome back to the Alamo City. Trinity up 3-0 in the bottom of the second, and Cal Coney leads things off and drives one to right field deep, all the way back at the warning track, at the wall, and it's off the glove of Liss. Coney sprinting and sliding into second base, a leadoff double, hitting the ball the other way, a common theme for Trinity today. See this ball just right off the bat of Coney. And not the way Clark wanted to start this inning. And all the way to the wall, just off the glove of Liss. A tough play to make out there in right. And the 9-hole hitter, Matthias Writing, up to bat now. Taps one foul. Writing in his last at-bat, a base hit to walk off Game 4 against Wisconsin Whitewater. A single to center field just past the diving shortstop Jackson Spring. Won the game for Trinity in the bottom of the 9th. Pitch from Clark misses, 1-1. Talked about Matthias Writing a lot in that opening series as he grounds one to third. Coney has to stay at second, and the throw from Stevens in time to retire him. Writing, an excellent defensive catcher. Couldn't find the bat really last year, only hit 162. Talking to a lot of guys in the Trinity coaching staff saying that will not happen again, and you already saw it in weekend number 1, the walk-off hero. He's retired as out number 1 in the second. Flips the lineup over. Callan Singhania rips one into left field. Coney will be stopped at third as the throw comes in. A base hit for Singhania, who reaches for the second time today. The 5th hit of the day for Trinity. This one finds the hole in left on the ground. As through 10 batters now, the Tigers have found 5 hits. Quick meeting from Kushner, going up to Clark. As the Tigers have gotten to James Clark in this game so far. Cam Champness coming up to the plate. A sacrifice bunt in his last plate appearance. They throw over to try and get Singhania to no avail. 1 down in the inning. Runners at the corners for Trinity. Coney on third, Singhania on first. Champness thinks about bunting again. Try to throw to first and get Singhania again. Unable to do so. Callan Singhania caught stealing twice last season, only stole 1 base. Guy who started on opening night last year, playing time kind of withered down the stretch. He's found his way in the first 2 series of this year. Champness still waiting for a pitch, the 1-0. Rips one foul into the screen right in front of where I am. And it's 1-1. One note for Champness is he was not charged with an error in the top of the first. That was called a base hit. Runner goes and Singhania throw to second, close, not in time. Runner comes home and Coney scores from third. Tigers pull off the double steal. They get the throw to go to second and Coney easily walks in from third. We'll see how close this throw was to second. Looked pretty good and just a little bit late. And you see Coney already halfway there by the time Babson even knows what's going on. Goes down as a stolen base for both of them as Champness rips this one foul, evens the count at 2-2. So Singhania already matching his stolen base total from last season. Tigers being very aggressive, up 4-0 now. Champness drives one into left center field, going back towards the wall, and Wilson makes the catch. Singhania tags from second, dives in safely to third, and he advances. So Singhania the only runner on for Trinity right now, at third with 2 down in the inning, and Will Baker, the RBI machine, coming up to the plate, already with 6 this season. Baker 1 for 1 today with a double in the first. Got an RBI along with it. Gets out of the way of an inside pitch from Clark. Baker fouls one off, and it rides out of play. Attempt from Stevens, the third baseman, to range over and make the catch, but not close enough to the fence to do it. So Baker stays alive. Count still 1-1. This game reminiscent of opening weekend 2 years ago when the Tigers played Babson. We're up 7-0 by the end of the second inning. Baker grounds one to short. Harmon with the high throw, and it's going to cost him a run. Baker content to stay at first base, and Singhania scores from third on the errant throw. It's 5-0 Trinity. A routine ground ball on a couple of hops to Harmon. Just airmails the throw. And it cost Babson a run, would have been out of the inning. A tough start for the Beavers. Clark facing Nick Jones, takes strike 1. Jones 0 for 1 with a strikeout so far today. Only 1 hit in this young season so far. Jones batting from the cleanup spot as he has in each of the prior games. Fouls this one onto the roof of the Bell Center. 1, 2, and it hits something. For Babson fans who are just tuning in, we're broadcasting from the roof of the Bell Center, so one of the unique things we get to do is we get to count the hops a ball takes when it's foul onto the roof. Pitch just misses. Count 1-2. The record so far is 7 hops on a foul ball on the roof. Jones fouls it off again. It's unique that Babson's coming in here because the first weekend we started broadcasting from the roof was actually the weekend after Babson was last year. Beavers opened the 2024 season here, as did Trinity against them, and we were broadcasting from the roof the next weekend. Jones gets out of the way of a pitch high and inside, 2-2. Tigers up 5-0 quickly in this one. Have scored 2 in the second. Jones sends one into shallow center field, and it dunks in for a hit. First hit of the game for Nick Jones, and there's 2 aboard with 2 down. Able to pull it and just find fair territory as the Tigers continue to figure out James Clark. And now it's Will Dixon, the lefty batter, 1 for 1 with a triple. First triple of the season for Trinity. Dixon pops this one up, shallow left field. Hosdovic camping under it, reading it, and making the catch to end the inning. An inning that plates 2 runs for Trinity, one of them unearned. And the Tigers are up 5-0 as we head to the third. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. The Tigers up 5-0 in game one of this three-game set between Trinity and Babson. Top of the Beavers order set to lead off the frame. Xander Teeter reached on a walk in his only plate appearance of this game. Fouls off the first pitch he sees. Teeter facing Will Hellings, who will make his second trip through the order. Entering his third inning of work, Hellings with 3 strikeouts so far. The only walk he's handed out to Teeter in the first inning. That pitch misses low and inside, brings the count to 1-1. Another one misses outside as well. Hellings falling behind 2-1. Will Hellings saying he wanted to throw more innings this year, threw 41 innings last season. Thought he could get upwards of 60. Said he wants as many as he can. That pitch fouled off, evens the count at 2-2. Getting his opportunity in the starting rotation due to some injuries, was called upon. Wanted to be in this position and now getting that chance. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Teeter goes down swinging, the 4th strikeout of the game for Will Hellings. And got him on the fastball that time, 91, outside edge. Now Ryan Liss stepping into the batter's box. Takes ball 1. Nobody on, 1 down in the 3rd. Waves at that pitch, count even, 1-1. Liss, one of the returning prolific bats from the Beavers last season. Swing and a miss, count 1-2. Of course, the Beavers without a couple of key infielders, Tanner Santos, Brent Savage, both moving on from the program this offseason. Pitch outside from Hellings, 2-2. Talking the Tigers players who were here for that series 2 years ago where Trinity swept Babson, saying they still remember Savage. Hit multiple home runs, and here's a deep drive to right field. Back at the wall, Dixon all the way back, and it's gone. Ryan Liss puts Babson on the board, his first home run of the season. See what this pitch was. Fastball, outside edge, able to still pull it. And right over the sign in right field, nothing Dixon could do. Tried to make the catch. It's a pretty short wall all the way around until you get to left. Was able to get his glove over, but couldn't pull back the ball. So the first run given up by Hellings comes in the 3rd as he faces Kushner. 1 for 1 with a single. Grounds one to Champness and makes the throw to first in time. Now 2 away in the inning. Of course, Kushner reaching on a ground ball to Champness in the first inning. Was scored a hit, not an error. Champness looked like he slipped making the throw. Maybe a measure of redemption for Champness on that one. First pitch to Grace. Takes a strike. Ryan Grace making his Beaver debut. The transfer student, the graduate student. 1 for 1 with a double in this game, the 0-1. Misses outside, evens the count. The home run from Ryan Liss putting the Beavers on the board just 2 batters ago. Trying to continue that momentum. 85 miles per hour outside and 2-1. Two down, nobody on. The 2-1 pitch from Hellings. Hard chopper to second. Coney, easy throw to end the inning. Beavers get on the board. The solo shot from Ryan Liss makes it 5-1 on Tiger Network. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. A new arm on the mound for Babson. It's Shane Langen making his career debut the first year from New Jersey. Comes into a game where his team trails 5-1, and he'll face Michael Lustina, who leads off this inning. A base hit in the first inning, 1 for 1. Takes a ball outside. Lustina, an interesting story from last year. Started the season very poorly, 3 for his first 28 at the plate, but then caught fire to end the year. 15 for 41 since the month of April last season, a .366 batting average. And that hits him. So the first batter that Langen faces, a hit batter. Lustina will take first, and now he'll have to deal with Pierce Matthews. Matthews, who made his career debut against the Babson Beavers and hit a 3-run home run in a game that I'm sure both programs will remember for a long time. The epic comeback in Game 2 of that series. Matthews fouls off that pitch as Lustina was running. The hit and run was on. Mentioned this in the past, that the Tigers operate on a green light offense, so any batter can call hit and run whenever they want. And a quick meeting between Langen and Kushner. The battery in this game for Babson, both underclassmen. After James Clark got the start in this game, talking to Coach Noon about why Clark would get the start on opening day. Said it was right to do it. He's a senior, has been with this program for 4 years. Wanted to give him his opportunity to start opening day. Pitch high and inside, misses. Throw back to first, close, but not in time as Lustina is able to get back safely. Evens the count at 1-1 to Matthews. Clark done after 2 innings pitched, gave up 4 earned runs, 5 runs total. 6 total hits as the Tigers really got to him early. Now the first year delivers. Strike 2, called strike to Matthews. That game that both of these programs will remember for so long. Tigers scored 10 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning to come back from a 9-run deficit against Babson. And Pierce Matthews' 3-run homer, the first of his career, a part of that, and now he rips one to left for a base hit. Matthews with a hit in all 3 games played so far this season. And he's aboard with nobody out in the inning. Runners on first and second for Trinity. Just got the breaking ball. Able to hit it into left. And it sets up Cal Coney, who's already 1 for 1 today. Doubled to lead off the second inning, would come around to score a run. Opportunity for the Tigers to blow this one open, up 4. Big cut and miss at the first pitch. Strike 1. The runner on second is Lustina. The runner on first is Matthews. Pitch inside, and Coney has to get out of the way. We know that the Tigers have bunted in this situation before with runners on first and second. Nobody out. We'll see if they do it here. 1-1. Coney not squaring up, swinging away and missing. Count 1-2. Langen looking for his first career out. The first year making his collegiate debut. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the first career strikeout for Langen recorded in the third. 1 down. Brings up Matthias Reiting. 0 for 1 today, grounded out to third. Mentioned the walk-off hero from the last time the Tigers played. Saturday morning, bright and early, 8:45 first pitch. Swing and a miss, runner heads to third, and Lustina. And he steals the base. Not even a throw down, he was already at the bag basically. Matthews did not go at first, he stays there. Runners at the corners for Trinity. They check on Matthews, dives back safely. The righty-righty matchup between Langen and Reiting. Takes a pitch high, 1-1. A Tigers team that is ranked number 1 in the country. Ranked number 1 for the first time since April of 2021. They check on the runner at first again. That's Matthews diving back safely once again. Still runners at the corners, 1 down in the inning. Babson hoping for the double play possibility. Reiting in the 1-1. Check swing, didn't go. Throw to first again, and again not in time. As they really do not want Pierce Matthews on first base. Matthews with 1 stolen base last season was not caught. His playing time limited, only 13 appearances, 7 starts. Reiting hits this one high and foul, drifting out of play, and it is. Now the count 2-2. As Teeter has to get back to his position, was ranging over, seeing if he could make a play on the foul ball. The 2-2 pitch. Matthews off and running. Throw to second. Not in time. And again, the run scores from third in the back door. The second time the Tigers execute that play with runners on the corners. The throw down the second, once again close from Kushner. That time it was in time. The tag just wasn't. And it was Michael Lustina easily scoring to make it 6-1 Trinity. The second time they've done that in this game. Count runs full on Reiting, who fouls it into the screen. The only runner on now is Pierce Matthews, who gets his first stolen base of the season. Tigers running all over Babson right now. Breaking ball finds the zone. Strike called. And the scoreboard says it was 3-2. I guess not. Strike called. It's actually Callan Singhania up to bat right now. So what that tells me is that last pitch was a strike and Matthias Riding struck out. So Singhania up. Scoreboard is not updated. Count should be 0-2 to Singhania. And there should be two outs in the inning. Singhania 1 for 1 today. Has walked and singled, and Singhania strikes out to end the inning. So the Tigers get another run, but Langen strikes out the side to send us to the fourth on Tiger Network. 6-1 Trinity. Welcome back to the Alamo City. Cameron Grindle up to bat to lead off the inning. Beavers down 6-1. And the pitch from Hellings is a strike. Grindle making his Babson Beavers debut today. 0 for 1 with a ground out to third. So we get going in the fourth inning. Hellings finds the zone. Strike called. Evens the count at 1-1. Working with a 5-run lead once again. Will Hellings has only surrendered 1 run in this game. Pitch misses in the dirt, 2-1. The solo shot in the third inning to Liss was the first home run hit by anybody in this ballpark. Last weekend series against Wisconsin Whitewater, that top 10 matchup did not see a single home run. Breaking ball misses, and Hellings falls behind 3-1. Tigers currently out hitting Babson 7-3. Beavers trying to change that. But Grindle goes around, strike 3. The 5th strikeout of the night for Will Hellings in the 4th inning. And went with the slider again. That can be so devastating, the speed difference. Ozdovic in the batter's box. Takes ball 1, 0 for 1 today with a fly out to left. The outfielders shaded to their left right now, out towards right field. Pitch misses low, 2-0. Pierce Matthews closer to the 365 sign in left. More in left center than anything else. Pitch way outside, and Hellings falls behind 3-0. Trying to avoid the 1-out walk. The 3-0. Right down the middle, strike called. Ozdovic looking for his first hit of the season. Strike called, thought it was ball 4 and gets the bad news. Now has to go back. Now a full count pitch. One down, nobody on. The 3-2 from Hellings. And ball 4. So Ozdovic works the one-out walk. He's on first on back-to-back close pitches. One goes Hellings' way, one goes his way. Second walk of the game handed out by Will Hellings. And it brings up Alexander Wilson. 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. Slider misses in the dirt. Ozdovic not running. Hellings trying to work around the one-out walk. The 1-0. Inside, and it plunks him. Wilson gets hit right on the back. The second hit batter for Will Hellings in this game, and there's 2 aboard with 1 out. Chance for the Beavers to get right back in this game. Owen Stevens now coming up to the plate. Reached in the second inning by way of a hit by pitch. Stevens with 8 appearances last season. Scored a run in his last 3 games of the year last year, trying to continue that positive momentum into this one. Hellings trying to find his command, misses with that pitch, ball 1. One thing Beavers fans might remember is opening weekend 2 years ago, Joseph Shavana started that game and worked 3 double plays in the first 3 innings. Big swing and a miss, throw to first. Close, but not in time. As Ozdovic had to race to get back. Beats the throw from Riding to the base. Count 1-1 to Stevens. Slider misses in the dirt, as the Beavers seem to be seeing that pitch a little bit better. Count now 2-1. In the dirt again, and it's 3-1, in danger of loading the bases. Hellings working in the 4th inning has only surrendered 1 run and 3 hits. 3-1 pitch. Foul tip, and the count runs full. Runners on first and second for Babson. The 3-2. Swing and a miss, that's strike 3. The 6th strikeout of the night for Will Hellings. The 2nd consecutive start he's reached that mark. And there's 2 away. Went with the fastball inside to get him. Would have been ball 4. And now the last chance for Babson in this inning is in the hands of Gabe Harmon. The sophomore making his Beaver debut. Grounds one fair down the first base line, and Will Baker will take it himself to end the inning. So Will Hellings gets into a little bit of trouble in the 4th, but gets out of the jam. Sends us to the bottom of the inning. Trinity up by 5 on Tiger Network. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. Cam Champness set to lead off the bottom of the fourth inning for the Tigers. 0 for 1 with a fly out to center field. Has also recorded a sacrifice bunt in this game so far. First pitch from Langen misses. 1-0. Pitched the entirety of the third inning in relief of James Clark, who started this game. Champness grounds one to short. Harmon with the throw a little bit wide, but still good enough and in time for out number one. Now Will Baker coming up to the plate. 1 for 2 in this game. Baker with an RBI double in the first inning out in the left field, and then reached on an E6, ended up scoring the 5th run of the game for Trinity. First pitch misses from Langen. This is the first time that Will Baker has seen Langen. First 2 appearances against Clark, the starter. Takes ball 2, 2-0. Babson last season coming off of a year where they were one and done in the New MAC tournament to MIT. Strike called, 2-1. Talking to Coach Noon about how the season ended, and says it's all about the games. Just the little ones at the end of the season that can cost you an important place in seeding. Inside out swing fouled off by Baker. They were swept in a doubleheader to end the year, and it knocked them down in the seeding in the tournament. Cost them a home game, Coach Noon said. Pitch outside, and it's 3-2. Count now full to Baker. Cost them a home game, also put them at MIT against what Coach Noon said was one of the best pitchers in the conference last season. This one is popped up into foul ground, playable, and the catch made by Stevens for out number 2. So Baker retired. And now it brings up the cleanup hitter, Nick Jones. But the Beavers put in that position where they just needed to win one of those games and get a home game in the New MAC tournament, because the way it works, for those who aren't familiar, swing and a miss from Jones, everybody's so close in that conference that they can travel to each other's ballparks without really much of an issue. Unlike the SAA tournament, which is a neutral site. This is hit high into the air, but drifting foul, and it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. The record of hops is 7. I'm not quite sure how we got there still. It might be a myth at this point. Most I've seen after that is 5. Jones down 0-2. The Beavers looking to return to the top of the New MAC. Won the conference in 2024. Jones takes a pitch high, 1-2. Jones with a base hit the last time he was up. He was down 0-2 in that at bat as well. Chops one foul on 3 hops. To the shortstop, Harmon makes the throw, and a good stretch by the first baseman, Grace, to end the inning. Tigers go 3 up, 3 down, and it sends us to the 5th in San Antonio. Welcome back. Top of the 5th inning in San Antonio. Will Hellings still on the mound, and he'll face the top of this Beavers lineup in Xander Teeter. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He's also reached by way of a walk. Tigers up 6-1 over Babson in Game 1 of this 3-game set. Teeter drives one deep to center field. Singhania ranging back all the way to the warning track at the wall and makes the catch. So Teeter giving the first pitch of the inning a ride, but it goes down as out number 1. Talked about that in the past with Will Hellings, how if you guess right, fastball or slider, you can get a hold of one and send it far. Nearly did there. First pitch to Liss, outside ball 1 from Hellings. Ryan Liss, 1 for 2 in this game, a home run in the 3rd. The one Babson run on the board so far today. Inside out swing, foul ball into the screen, 1-1. Liss is also struck out looking in this game, one of 6 strikeouts that Will Hellings has. Strike called. There is some action in the Trinity bullpen. I do not have my binoculars today. I forgot them, so I can't tell exactly who that is. It is a lefty, and my guess would be it's Brandon Morio. Waves at that, and that is 7 strikeouts for Will Hellings as Liss goes down for the 2nd time today. 2 away in the inning. That one, that might have been a changeup. I didn't know he had that. That's a new one. If you can sprinkle that in there. Talked about supination versus pronation on the broadcast before. First pitch to Kushner, a strike. Kushner 1 for 2 today. Singled in the 1st on a ground ball to short. And then he grounded out to short in his next at-bat. Strike called, finds himself down 0-2. Talked about supination. It's where you turn your wrist kind of from, I guess, left to right would be the best way to describe it. If you're to lay your hand flat, your thumb is going up if you're moving your wrist. That is supination. And then pronation is the other way, and that's how you throw a changeup. So maybe Will Hellings finding a little pronation. The 1-2. Ground ball on a couple of hops to short. Champness pumps and fires in time. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Will Hellings. Halfway through this one in San Antonio. Tigers up 6-1 on Tiger Network. Welcome back to Trinity University Ballpark. The Tigers up 6-1 halfway through this one. As we enter the bottom of the 5th inning, Will Dixon will lead things off for the Tigers. Dixon 1 for 2 in this game, tripled in the 1st inning. Takes ball 1. Langen back on the mound for Babson. And you would assume that Coach Noon and the staff would like to get as much length as they can out of him. Takes a strike. We'll see if the Beavers can battle back and make this game a little closer, but trying to conserve that bullpen as much as they can. That pitch misses outside. Count 2-1. The Beavers returning a lot of their pitching from last year, particularly some of their top arms. Swing and a miss from Dixon, count 2-2. 3 of their 4 arms that threw at least 40 innings are all back. Now the 2-2. Inside out swing fouled off, and Dixon stays alive. 4 arms last season threw 40-plus innings for Babson. Not a single other one threw at least 20. So important that they have 3 of those guys back. Pitch outside, and the count runs full. Dixon, a middle of the order bat for Trinity, out in right field today. Coach Scannell saying this team in desperate need of left-handed hitting. Dixon trying to give it to him there, but fouls the pitch off. Count remains full. Scannell specifically commenting on his swing, saying wants him to hit the ball the other way, doesn't want him to try and do too much. The 3-2. Inside, ball 4, and he works a leadoff walk. So Dixon aboard in the bottom of the 5th, and it brings up Michael Lustina. Has reached both times he's been up, a base hit and a hit by pitch. It's also knocked in an RBI. Lustina locking that spot down at third base this offseason. Big swing and a miss at the first pitch. Alternated a little bit between him and Coney at second base last season on that World Series run. The third baseman Kai Tinker last year solidified at that spot. Managed the hot corner so well. This is fouled out of play. Brings the count to 0-2. But now Lustina taking over at that position. Trying to get his bat into the lineup every night, especially with the way he ended the year. They love the offseason he had as well. 0-2 inside, and it hits him again. This one on the hands. Feeling it a little bit. Has to do a couple of laps and take a deep breath. See where it got him on the replay. Right on the wrist. Does not feel good. 85 miles per hour. The second time he's been hit by a pitch today. Puts him on first. Still nobody out in the inning. Pierce Matthews up to bat. 1 for 2 in this game. A single the last time he was up in the third. Runners on first and second. We'll see if the Tigers set up the play they've been running with runners at the corners. Matthews thinks about bunting. Throw goes to third, and it's in time. Will Dixon was off and running anyways. Tough to see what happened there in terms of the timing. We'll see on the replay. Kushner, he faked to go to first and then got Dixon going to third. And that is how the Beavers get the first out of the inning. Will Dixon caught stealing. Lustina remains on first. Matthews waves at that pitch, evens the count at 1-1. We're trying to set up that play again where they have runners at the corners and do the double steal. The steal initially coming from first and a delayed steal from third to score the run. Breaking ball misses outside and low. Langen falling behind 2-1 in his collegiate debut. Trying to complete his third inning of work. Struck out the side in the third inning. Lustina gets back safely. Gave up the run, but not bad for your first collegiate inning, striking out the side. And then 3 up, 3 down in the fourth. Trying to work around some traffic here. Matthews takes a strike, evens the count at 2-2. Tries to get back again. So we've seen a lot of throws to first in this game. I've made my position clear on that. I feel like it works poorly more than it works well, at least for most guys. There are some guys that get the exception, like Jace Clay, who picked off 2 batters. Swing and a miss from Matthews. Throw to second is close, not in time, and stolen base for Michael Lustina. Multiple stolen bases in this game. Still out number 2 as Matthews strikes out. See how close this one was. On a hop, and Lustina able to get his hand in. And now Calcone. A wall ball double in the second inning, his only hit of the game. Struck out after that. 1 for 2 overall. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it sharply into the screen. Tigers trying to extend this lead. Would love to be put in a position where they can use some of their other relievers and save some of their top guys. Brandon Morio has been up in the pen. That'd be one of those guys. Breaking ball finds the zone. Strike 2. Will Hellings has worked 5 innings so far. He'd likely be out for the 6th. He's only given up 1 run and 3 hits. The 0-2. Just high, 1-2. Hellings usually a part of that formidable bullpen, but it's been stripped down a little bit. So now Will Taylor and Brandon Morio, the main 2, that would come out in a close game. Check swing fouled into the screen. Count remains 1-2. And it's been Morio who's been throwing. Seems nearly ready to come into this game whenever he's needed. Tigers would love to save them for when they absolutely need them. Extending the lead would help with that. The 1-2, Coney takes it. And the count evens at 2-2. An opportunity to drive in another run. Tigers held scoreless for the first time in this game in the 4th inning, trying to avoid it in the 5th. 2 down, runner on second, 2-2. Inside, and it hits him. So the second hit batter in 3 plate appearances for the Trinity Tigers. As Coney gets hit for the first time today, he reaches 2 aboard with 2 down in the inning. And now Matthias Riding. 0 for 2 today. He's grounded out and struck out. Langen trying to work around some traffic. They try the back pick, and the throw nearly gets into center field. Again, Xander Teeter coming in from second base to save the day. That's the second time that's almost happened to Babson. Both times, Teeter able to back up the throw. It's happened with 2 different pitchers, too. We'll see it on the replay. Riding swings and misses, count 0-1. But Harmon just not ready for it both times, too. And it's been Teeter, the veteran, who's had to come in. The 0-1. Misses, and the count even at 1-1. A lot of things that Coach Noon will not like about the start to this game, particularly how Babson has managed runners on base. Riding lines one into left field. It's a base hit. Runner being waved around from second. In to score is Lustina. And it's 7-1 Trinity. RBI single for Matthias Riding. Able to get a hold of the fastball at 85. And we mentioned the quote from Dave Smith. He isn't going to hit 162 this year. And so far on track to do way better than that. It forces a pitching change for Babson. New arm on the mound when we come back on Tiger Network. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. The Tigers with the 7-1 lead. And a new arm on the mound for Babson. It's Tristan Pearl, the junior from New Canaan, Connecticut. Made 2 appearances last season. The ERA at 1.93, the whip at .43. As he faces the top of the Tiger lineup in Callan Singhania. Takes ball 1. Singhania 1 for 2 today, a base hit and a strikeout. He's also walked today. Thrusted into the leadoff spot with the absence of Caleb Woodward from this game. The 1-0. Misses high again, and it's 2-0. Pearl only made 2 appearances last season, but got the win in both of those appearances. 2-0 last year. 2-0 pitch is hit into the air. Playable for the right fielder, Liss, who ranges in and makes the catch. That ends the inning. So it takes 3 pitches for Pearl to get out of the jam. Leaves this score at 7-1 as we head to the 6th on Tiger Network. Welcome back. Tigers with the 7-1 lead as we're in the top of the 6th inning. Ryan Grace will lead things off for the Beavers. 1 for 2 today, doubled in the first. Swinging a foul tip into the glove of Riding for strike 1. Will Hellings back out there for the 6th inning. He's only given up 1 run through 5 so far. Pitch in the dirt. Evens the count at 1-1. It's a Trinity team who comes into this game ranked number 1 in the nation for the first time since 2021. Trying to hold that ranking as this one is roped into left field, going back at the wall, and it hits it. Matthews fields it and gets the relay in to the infield, but not in time. A no-out double for Grace. His 2nd double of the game. So able to hit the ball the other way on Hellings. Nearly a home run. Hits the cutout in left field. Only reason it stays in the ballpark. Cameron Grindle lines one foul out of play. Grindle 0 for 2, struck out in the 4th inning. Working with a runner on second, nobody out. Beavers down 6 runs, trying to get back into this game. Pitch misses inside, 1-1. The leadoff wall ball double coming from Grace, who's on second right now. Breaking ball catches the inside of the zone, 1-2. Still nobody out. The 1-2 pitch. Slider in the dirt. Talked to Coach Scannell about that ranking, and I kind of already knew his thoughts doing this for 4 years. He says nothing good can come out of that ranking. Only thing that happens is people get in their own heads about it, but he says this group's been pretty good about it. They understand that it's just a number, doesn't really mean anything. Strike 3 as Grindle swings and misses. Second consecutive strikeout on him for Will Hellings. 1 down in the frame. And that looked like a changeup. Sprinkling that in there today. 1 down, and it's Hosdovic. Takes ball 1. Hosdovic 0 for 1 today. Walked the last time he was up. Big swing and a miss at that pitch. Ball ends up in the dirt, but Writing able to jump on top of it. Count even at 1-1. But Coach Scannell's saying the guys have not let that get to their heads. Hasn't heard anything about it from any of the players. This is a throw to second. Close play, but Grace able to get his hand in safely. The pickoff attempt at second nearly working. See how close it was. Pitch misses from Hellings, as Grace was able to get in there pretty clearly into second base. Count 2-1. Slider finds the zone, 2-2. Still the runner on second, 1 down in the inning. Pitch to Hosdovic outside, and the count runs full. Brings up the countdown count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner on second is Grace. Swing and a miss, that's strike 3. Hellings racking up the strikeouts. Back to back in this frame, 2 down. And now 2 down, runner on second. Alexander Wilson. The last opportunity for Babson to knock in the run. Slider finds his own, strike 1. Hellings working around the leadoff double he gave up. Hit the cutout in left field. Trying to leave the runner stranded. Slider finds the zone, strike called. A delayed strike call brings the count to 0-2. Ground ball foul down the first base line. So Wilson staying alive. Hellings trying to complete 6 innings of work in his start. Hellings, who made his Trinity debut against Babson 2 years ago. The 0-2. Slider misses, a good take from Wilson. Will Hellings going for his 10th strikeout of the game. The 1-2. Finds the zone, strike 3 called. 10 strikeouts for Will Hellings through 6 innings. And that time the fastball right down the middle. To end the frame, we'll head to the bottom of the 6th in San Antonio. 7-1, Trinity with the lead. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. Cam Champness set to lead off the inning for the Trinity Tigers, who find themselves up 7-1 in game one of this three-game set. Champness 0 for 2 today. Called strike one out of the hand of Tristan Pearl, who took over to end the last frame for Babson. Able to get the only batter he faced. That pitch fouled off the end of the bat of Champness. Count 0-2. Tigers up 7-1. The offense has come to play, particularly the base running, and so is Will Hellings, who has 10 strikeouts in this game. Pitch outside, 1-2. Hellings, who wanted to be in this role, wanted to pitch more innings, has thrown 6 innings, 1 run allowed, only 4 hits allowed, and 10 strikeouts. We'll see if he returns, as this is blooped into left field. Hangs up a little bit too long, and Hosdovic able to get under it for out number 1. Will Baker now coming up to the plate. Baker 1 for 3 in this game. Doubled in the first inning, got an RBI. He's reached on an error. Popped out the last time he was up. First pitch misses, 1-0. A gorgeous night here in San Antonio. The sun is completely down. It was 85 degrees at first pitch. I'd venture to guess we're in the high 70s right now. Baker gets out of the way of an inside pitch. 1-1. Flags are completely still in center field. Could not ask for a better night to play baseball. A big reason why Babson came all the way down here from Massachusetts. Baker ahead 3-0. Last I looked, it was in the high 20s in Wesleyan, Massachusetts. Inside, ball 4, and Baker aboard with 1 down. Talking to Coach Noon and about why they enjoy coming here so much. This is the 5th time that Babson has come to San Antonio to play Trinity in the last 7 seasons. Nick Jones now due up, 1 on, 1 out. Jones 1 for 3. Base hit and a strikeout today. Noon saying the weather is just so nice. Always great to play a competitive team like Trinity. It's a great way to see where you're at to start the year. Every year's different. It says you never know if you're good until you play. And now they get to play the #1 ranked team in the country in 70-degree perfect weather. Throw back, gets away. Baker didn't even make it back to first base. Instead, he'll just head to second. A free base. And this is exactly what I was talking about on the pickoff attempts. Unless you're Jace Clay, they go poorly more than they go well. As Pearl just errant on the throw. Pitch to Jones. Swung on and fouled into the screen. Baker looked like he was far enough away from the base where maybe they could have gotten him with a good throw. But instead, the Tigers get the free base. Baker on second. One taken low. Of course, Coach Scannell and Coach Noon have had a relationship that's lasted over 30 years. Coach Noon was an assistant at Northeastern when Tim Scannell was playing there. Coached him for 1 year. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Evens the count. That was a relationship I've known about for a little bit now. This is my 3rd series between these two teams that I've called. But one thing I didn't know is that Scannell actually said that he hated Coach Noon when he was coaching him. This is fouled into the screen. Says he loves him now, but when he was a player, he couldn't stand him. And with reflection, he says that was absolutely a me problem. It says it was definitely an attitude problem on his part, and appreciates in retrospect the way that Noon coached him. Now the 2-2 pitch. Just misses. Pearl wanted the call. Instead, the count runs full. Of course, both of those guys, Northeastern grads, New England roots, have strong ties to each other, and that's a big reason why they play so much. The 3-2. Jones rips one deep to left field. Hosdovic going back, and he'll watch it hit the top of the wall. Baker heads to third. Jones stand-up double with one down in the inning. This nearly got out of here. Looked like it hit the yellow on the wall. See how close it was as Jones got a hold of this. Looked like it was right off the yellow part of the wall. Just missed his first home run of the season. Would have been the first home run for any Trinity Tiger this year. Have yet to hit one as a team. It's now Will Dixon up to the plate. He's reached twice today. Cuts and misses. Strike one. Dixon, the triple in the first inning, walked the last time he was up. A 1-for-2 day overall. Runners on second and third. Dixon flares one into right field, falling, and it'll bring in some runs. Baker coming in, and he is safe. Tigers up 8-1. RBI single for Will Dixon. So Dixon able to pull this breaking ball right off the end of the bat. Weakly hit, but found the right spot. And it extends the Trinity lead, their 10th hit of the night. Back-to-back singles for the Tigers, Jones, then Dixon. And now it's Michael Lustina who has reached in all three of his plate appearances. 1-for-1 today. Hit by a pitch twice and takes a big cut at the first pitch. Strike one. And now the moment of truth to see if Trinity tries to run their play again. Runners at the corners, one down. We'll see if they do the double steal or not. Pitch misses in the dirt, 1-1. They've scored 2 runs on this already today. The steal at second, the throw to second, and then the delayed steal from third to home to bring in the run. Has been uncontested both times. Pearl misses on his last pitch, 2-1. Tigers up 8-1. And they got Dixon in a rundown. Trinity tried it again, and this time Babson all over at the tag and the out at first base. 2 down in the inning. So the Beavers figuring out the Tigers' tricks as Dixon got caught leaning the wrong way. Base runner erased, and now Lustina could represent the final out of the inning. An inning that has already seen 1 run scored. The 2-1. This is fouled out of play just above the Babson dugout, housed on the first base side here at Trinity University Ballpark. Puts deuces on the board. 2 strikes, 2 balls, 2 down in the inning. Pitch to Lustina. Just misses, and the count runs full. Nick Jones patiently waiting on third base. Just missed a home run in his plate appearance. Ended up with a double. The 3-2 to Lustina. Outside ball 4, and runners at the corners once again. So we'll see if Babson has completely caught on to the Tigers' runners at the corners play. And if Trinity will try it again or not. Pierce Matthews up to the plate. Has struck out twice tonight, also has a base hit. 1 for 3 overall. Take strike 1. Pitch in the dirt, 1-1. Matthews hit his first career home run against Babson 2 years ago. A 3-run homer in that rapid comeback that the Tigers had in Game 2. Talking to people the next day about that, said that was the moment when they believed it was possible. Strike called. Count should be 1-2 now. Two down in the inning, runners at the corners. Matthews gets the pitch, swing and a miss. And that is strike three to end the inning. The Tigers do play to run and have the 8-1 lead on Tiger Network. We'll head to the final third of this one. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. The Tigers with the 8-1 lead in the top of the seventh, and Will Hellings back on the mound. Already has pitched 6 innings, only allowed 1 run. And with 10 strikeouts so far today, struck out the side in the 6th. Now works the 7th against Owen Stevens. First pitch is popped up into the air, drifting foul and out of play. Will Hellings trying to continue his momentum. He's had such a strong start in this one so far. See how close it is to its end as he fires for strike 1. Or excuse me, strike 2. Count 0-2. Stevens struck out the last time he faced Hellings. Takes ball 1. He's also been hit by a pitch. That's the only time he's reached. As Hellings nearing the end of his 3rd trip through the order. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. 11 strikeouts for Will Hellings as his dominant day continues. Overall, the 4th consecutive strikeout for Hellings. And gets him with the slider. In his start against Whitewater, Hellings also struck out 4 consecutive batters. Only struck out 6 in that start, though. Now he faces Harmon. Breaking ball misses in the dirt for ball 1. Hellings, a guy who wanted to be in this position, felt he could contribute more than he did last year. More innings, more workload, wanted to start. Making the most of his opportunity. This is chopped onto the ground. Coney fields and throws in time. And quickly 2 away in the 7th. Unclear what the pitch count is currently for Will Hellings. So we'll see how long he can go in this game. The lineup flips over. Xander Teeter, hitless in today's game so far, has reached by way of a walk. The 1-0. Or excuse me, 0-1 now after the big swing and a miss. Graphic has not updated yet, now it has. Now the 0-1. This is grounded fair as Baker picks it up, walks it to the base, and Will Hellings is through 7 innings. 11 strikeouts, 4 hits, only 1 run allowed. As it's time to stretch in San Antonio, Tigers up 7 on Babson. Welcome back. Trinity leads Babson 8-1 in the bottom of the 7th. And Cal Coney will lead off the inning for the Tigers offensively. Coney has reached twice today, a double and a hit by pitch. He's also struck out, 1 for 2 overall. Tigers trying to extend their lead, already up 7. Pitch from Pearl, misses ball 1. The lefty remains in the game. The third arm used today by Babson. Their starter, Clark, only going 2 innings. Coney takes a strike, count even at 1-1. The 1-1 from Pearl. Outside, 2-1. Lefty versus righty. Called strike, evens the count at 2-2. These teams so familiar with each other, mentioned it 5 times in the last 7 years. Tigers swept the Beavers the last time they came down here 2 years ago. Pitch misses outside and the count runs full. Tigers won 2 of those games by 6+ runs. An 8-2 victory on opening day in Game 1 and a 16-6 victory in Game 3 to get the sweep. Swing and a miss from Coney. 1 down in the inning. That's back-to-back strikeouts spanning 2 innings for Tristan Pearl. Brings up Matthias Reiting. 1 for 3 in this game. Base hit the last time he was up in the 5th. And actually this will be a pinch hitter. Thomas Moss checks into the game for Trinity. So Matthias Reiting will get the rest of the night off. Moss played in 2 of the games against Wisconsin Whitewater, a substitution in Game 1 like he is now, and then got the start in Game 2 of that series. Moss with 17 appearances last season. So far this year, 2 for 7 with an RBI. Waves at the first pitch, 0-1. Thomas Moss, a .364 hitter last season, .308 so far this year. Or excuse me, .250, as this is fouled out of play. Count 0-2. Mentioned the series 2 years ago, the Tigers swept. And Game 2, the game that everybody will remember from that. One of the most ridiculous line scores that I think I've seen. Looked at it yesterday. Was a 5-1 Babson lead, and then the game got unhinged from there. Pitch misses 1-2. Beavers scored 9 runs in the top of the 7th inning to, in theory, put the game away. It was 14-5 at that point, and the Tigers held scoreless in the bottom of the 7th. Moss fouls this pitch off high onto the bell center. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now down 1-2. But then a 10-run bottom of the 8th inning, and Trinity came back. A Christian Holloway grand slam to give Trinity the lead. Pitch misses. 2-2. It was already an okay game before the 7th inning. The Tigers had battled back from the 5-1 deficit to tie it at 5 in the 6th. And then the 9-run inning, and then the 10th-run inning. And then it was Trajan Lee who closed out that game. It's fouled into the screen, count 2-2. It's Trajan Lee who entered the game when it was already a 9-run deficit, thrown back out there with a 1-run lead, trying to protect it. And got a resounding strikeout to end that victory and clinch the series for Trinity. Fouled into the screen again. Moss staying alive, 2-2. Definitely one of the most memorable games that I've been a part of. A lot of guys still on the team from that team 2 years ago. The 2-2. Moss hits this one deep to center field. Wilson ranging back and over to make the catch. 2 away in the inning. Of course, Christian Holloway coming up with that grand slam to give Trinity the lead. He had already had a game-winning home run against Babson the year prior. Pinch hitter for Trinity, Evan Kuhl, will bat for Callan Singhania. Singhania will end his day with a base hit and a walk, 1 for 3 overall. As you see his numbers on the screen there. So Evan Kuhl, who scored the winning run against Whitewater in the 4th game of that series, was a pinch runner. They like to do that with him so much because of how fast he is. Able to get to second base and came around from second to score on the Matthias Writing single to walk off the Warhawks. Take strike 1 here. Evan Kuhl, 19 appearances last season. He's already had quite a few in this year. That pitch just misses 1-1. Pitch in the dirt. Count now 2-1. Mentioned this before, talking about Evan Kuhl, but it's just so interesting to think about. Talking to shortstop Cam Chapness about him, saying you cannot field a ground ball routinely against him. He will be safe if you delay at all. Rips this one to center field. Sliding stop from Teeter makes the throw in time. And that will end the inning. 3 up, 3 down go the Tigers as it sends us to the 8th. Still, they have the 8-1 lead on Tiger Network. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. New pitcher on the mound for Trinity. It is Brandon Morio. Will Helling's day is done. He throws 7 innings, 11 strikeouts, 2 walks, and only 1 earned run allowed. An impressive day for him, and now Babson just glad to see anybody else as Morio flips a breaking ball in for strike 1. So far in this season, 3 strikeouts on 2 innings pitched, a 4.5 ERA, whip of 2. Last season, Morio, one of the best arms for Trinity, both starting and in relief. This is a chopper on 2 hops, sent to Coney. Ranging over, and the throw not in time. So the first batter reaches. What you can only assume at this point will be an E4 in Liss. So Liss on first. We'll see if this did pull him off the bag or not. And I don't know from that angle. Alex Richardson making his season debut now into the game for Will Baker. And it looks like we have a pinch hitter for Babson, Connor Fricke, the junior from Colorado Springs, will come up to the plate, making his collegiate debut. The junior in his second year with the program. No career games played until now. So Fricke pinch hitting for Kushner. Works with nobody out, runner on base. Strike called. Some defensive replacements for Trinity. Already noted Alex Richardson taking over at first base for Will Baker. This is fouled out of play onto the roof of the Bell Center. 1, 2, 3 hops. The 0-2 from Morio. Breaking ball misses inside. Brandon Morio, after having an ERA of 17 in his first year, responded with a nice all-conference year last year. First team All-SCAC, 15 appearances and 6 starts, a 7-1 record. Breaking ball misses low again, and it evens the count at 2-2. ERA of 2.77 and 48 2/3 innings pitched. Tallied up 48 strikeouts. This is popped up straight into the air. Coney under it, calling and making the catch. 1 down in the inning. And that brings up Ryan Grace, the cleanup hitter, who will remain in this game. 2 for 3 with 2 doubles today. Runner on first. 1 down in the inning. Takes ball 1. Beavers last season started the year 7-3, part of a 15-5 non-conference record that they had. Breaking ball finds the zone, strike called. Count even at 1-1. Unfortunately for them, 8-8 in NEWMAC play, and that's what ultimately cost them at the end of the year. Morio just misses with that pitch. Count goes to 2-1. Breaking ball misses again, trying to land that slider, unable to so far. Count all the way up to 3-1. Tigers with the 8-1 lead. Babson a runner on first. 1 down in the inning. Strike called and the count runs full. Brings up the countdown count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner on first is Liss. Fouled off, and we'll do it again. Morio trying to work a scoreless 8th inning, 2 outs away from doing that in relief of Will Hellings. This is chopped foul, and we'll do it again. Grace ahead of that pitch, fouled it off to his own dugout. The lefty-lefty matchup, the 3-2. High, ball 4. And the second batter of the inning has reached for Babson. 2 aboard with 1 down in the frame. The 3rd time that Grace has reached in this game. And now Cameron Grindle. Grindle 0 for 3 in this game, has struck out the last 2 times he's been up. Takes a slider, strike 1. Of course, all of those appearances against Will Hellings, who struck out 11 in total, a career day for him. Pitch misses low, 1-1. That'll be an interesting discussion for this Trinity coaching staff. Matt Azordigan was supposed to start opening day. Instead, Carter Aldman did. Still dealing with something that's kept him out for this weekend at least. Swing and a miss from Grindle. Count 1-2. But if Hellings pitches like that, it's going to be very difficult to remove him from the starting rotation. You got Jake Beck going tomorrow. You've got Jace Clay going on Sunday. There's only 3 games in a weekend most of the time. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. First strikeout of the outing for James Morio. Or excuse me, Brandon Morio. And there's 2 away. Mazdovic up to the plate. 0 for 2 today with a walk. For those of you who don't know, Brandon Morio has a twin, James Morio. Identical twins. I get them confused all the time. Pitch misses, ball 1. There's a point last year where they had to wear different hats so people could tell them apart. And then they stopped doing that and nobody knew anymore. Now a 2-0 count. Apparently some of their teammates have found subtle differences in their face and how they tell them apart. I was never able to really get those. The 2-0. Strike called. Sosdovic takes that pitch. I found that the easiest way to tell them apart is go the opposite way of whichever one I guess. I would always walk up to both of them because they'd be together a lot, and I'd point at one of them and I'd say Brandon, and it would always be wrong. Pitch misses high, 3-1. There is some action in the Trinity bullpen. A right-hander up for the Tigers right now. Morio trying to finish the inning. 3-1. Ground ball to short. Chapness has to range all the way in. Make the throw in time. Cam Chapness on the lip of the infield grass ends the inning and sends us to the bottom of the 8th on Tiger Network. Trinity up 8-1. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. A new arm on the mound for Babson. It's Ben Valenti, the sophomore from Newman, Massachusetts. Made 4 appearances last season, ERA of 11, an opportunity to bounce back this year. And he starts it with strike 1 to Cam Chapness. Chapness 0 for 3 today. Has a sacrifice bunt to his name as well. Check swing, foul. May have actually hit him. Did not hear the bat noise on that. Went around either way, it's a strike. Made a nice defensive play to end the last frame. Had to range all the way in on a very slow grounder to the infield grass, make the throw in time. Takes a pitch low. Count 1-2. Valenti gave up an earned run in every single appearance last season. This one misses inside, 2-2. Trying to start off 2026 strong with a scoreless frame in a game his team is losing by 7. Very reminiscent of opening day 2 years ago where the Tigers won that game 8-2. We're up 7-0 in the blink of an eye. Swing and a miss from Champness. Ball hits the ground, so they have to throw to first, and they do in time. 1 down in the 8th. And it brings up Alex Richardson, who was a defensive replacement for Will Baker. His day is done. Fouls the first one off into the screen. Baker with 1 hit in this game. A double in the first inning, also walked the last time he was up, now gives way for Richardson. Makes his first appearance of the year. Slider misses low and away, 1-1. Richardson, the sophomore from Los Angeles, California, in at first base. Slider again hits the dirt. Now 2-1. This a game the Tigers have led from the jump, scored in their first 3 innings. We're up 6-0 after 3, or 6-1, excuse me, as Babson was able to get the 1 run that they did off Will Hellings. 2 hopper to short, Teeter, or excuse me, Harmon, in time for out number 2. 2 away quickly for Valenti. And now another pinch hitter, Chad Henning. Or excuse me, Jack Henning. Henning, the sophomore from Houston, Texas. Only 1 plate appearance so far this year. About to have his second as he enters this game in place of Nick Jones. Jones, a 2-hit game at designated hitter, now watches from the dugout. Jack Henning up with 2 down. Takes the ball away, 1-0. Foul ball. Count even at 1-1. Valenti trying to take us to the top of the 9th, where his team will have 3 outs to work with. Strike called, 1-2. Tigers out hitting Babson, currently 10-4. A lot of that coming against the starter, James Clark. Pitch high, 2-2. Lasted 2 innings, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk. 5 runs surrendered on 5 hits, only 4 of those earned. Pitch into the dirt. Count runs full. 3-2 with 2 down. Nobody on. Tigers, the number 1 team in the country coming into today, and they looked like it. As a chopper sent foul to the Trinity dugout. Housed on the third base side here in San Antonio. These 2 teams will meet again tomorrow at 2 p.m. and then again on Sunday at 10 a.m. start before Babson has to fly out of here. Henning lifts this one into left field. Harmon back into the outfield grass to make the catch. And that ends the inning. It sends us to the top of the ninth. 3 outs left in this one. Tigers up by 7. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. Top of the ninth inning, the Tigers have the 8-1 lead over Babson and have a new arm on the mound. It's Colin Pence, the first year making his collegiate debut. Has a 7-run lead to work with and faces Alexander Wilson. Wilson 0 for 2 in this game, 2 strikeouts and a hit by pitch. First pitch misses wildly. And Matthias Reidig scoops it up off the backstop. The defensive replacement at catcher. Pinch hit for Thomas Moss does. That's who was in this game at catcher, started the game. Pitch inside, and that hits Wilson aboard for the second time today by way of the hit by pitch. So Pence a little wild to start off this outing. And now Owen Stevens up to bat. 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts, has also been hit by a pitch. Takes one inside. Ball 1. Tigers trying to close out this game, up 8-1. Bring their record to 4-1 on the year. Pitch misses 2-0. And already a meeting from Dave Smith. 4 pitches, 4 balls for Pence. And Smith out there to calm him down, presumably in his collegiate debut. Babson part of a tough schedule for Trinity that they managed to put together. The Tigers playing a lot of daunting non-conference opponents, and even their conference is pretty daunting when we get there, but in terms of the non-conference, you had the defending national champions and Wisconsin Whitewater come in here, the #1 team in the country at the time. You have Babson, who won their conference 2 years ago, currently receiving votes in the Division3.com poll. Got Kane coming in here the next weekend with a quick trip to TLU, a midweek, coming up this Tuesday. TLU receiving votes, definitely a contender to win the SCAC. And Kane, the #3 team in the nation, somebody who went to the College World Series alongside Trinity. And then they'll welcome in Tufts the weekend after that. Meeting adjourned and a hit batter. As Pence unable to find command so far. Back-to-back hit batters to put 2 on with nobody out for Babson. And it brings up Gabe Harmon. The shortstop making his collegiate debut today with the Beavers. 0 for 3, still looking for his first hit. Strike one. Pence trying to find his command. Able to find his first strike of the way of a hit by pitch. Misses high, 1-1. Got to be a tough situation when you start an outing like that because you're not going to get any favors on close pitches either. We'll see if we see any of that. 1-1. Breaking ball misses in the dirt. Nicely blocked by Thomas Moss behind the dish. Harmon ahead, 2-1. Hitters count. And that one gets all the way to the backstop, unable to read the ricochet as Moss diving to try and stop it. And both runners will move easily. Now runners on second and third. And Harmon an opportunity to walk and load the bases. Ahead 3-1. And we'll have a change. So Dave Smith comes out. Pence, unable to find his command in his debut, leaves this game with runners on second and third. As we'll have a pitching change in San Antonio. Tigers still up 8-1 in the ninth. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. The fourth arm of the game used by Trinity now on the mound. Kyle Hoggett, the sophomore, made 6 appearances, 1 start last year, a 2-0 record in 10 1/3 innings pitched. Appeared for an inning and third against Whitewater. Allowed no earned runs, swing and a miss on his first pitch to Harmon. Entered this game in the 3-1 count, so now the count full all of a sudden, with runners on second and third for Babson. The 3-2 is hit up the middle. Chapness ranging over and will not have a play. Wilson scores from third, and it's 8-2. Babson on the board in the ninth. Goes down as a base hit for Harmon, the first hit of the inning for Babson. As Champness able to get to the ball, just no play, not in time. Just decided it was better to eat it, not risk the throw. Xander Teeter swings at the first pitch and misses. 0-1. Teeter hitless so far today. 0 for 3 with a strikeout, also has a walk. Runners at the corners for Babson. This is chopped but foul down the first base line. Quickly 0-2. Still nobody out in the inning for Babson. We talked about the outrageous comeback the Tigers made with the 10-run 8th inning 2 years ago. Never know, maybe Babson's got something in store. Slider finds the zone, strike 3. First strikeout of the day for Kyle Hoggett, 1 down in the 9th. Able to drop in that breaking ball. Ryan Liss now up. 1 for 4 today, has the home run. 1 of 2 runs Babson scored. Breaking ball misses outside. 1-0. Hoggett trying to bring this game to a close. Trinity Tower rings in the distance. 8:30 p.m. This game got going at 6. Pitch misses 2-0. Game time of 2.5 hours if it were to end right now. This is popped up, but foul on the inside-out swing, going all the way back to the football stadium, behind the baseball stadium, across the road. Finding the first strike of this plate appearance. Now the 2-1 is lined past the glove of Champness into left field. Run comes to score, and it's 8-3. 2 on the board for the Beavers in this inning. Able to hit the ball the other way. The 6th hit of the day for Babson. 2nd for Liss. And his 2nd RBI of the game. As the Tigers are still looking for the 2nd out of this inning. This is ripped past the glove of Champness again. Into left field off the bat of Moses. Batters will go station to station, and all of a sudden the bases are filled with Beavers. That was Jack Moses making his first plate appearance of the game, and immediately comes through with a hit in the 9th. And now the cleanup hitter up to bat. Tying run all of a sudden on deck for the Beavers. Ryan Grace has reached the last 2 plate appearances he's had. Takes strike 1. Grace 2 for 3 today. 2 doubles. Reached on a walk the last time he was up. Bases filled with Beavers. The 0-1. Fouled off the end of the bat. 0-2. Both runs that were scored charged to Pence. Allows 2 earned runs in his collegiate debut. All the batters currently on, responsible by Kyle Hoggett. Breaking ball just misses. Trinity dugout wanted the call. Instead, it's 1-2. Still only 1 down in the inning. And it looks like we have an equipment issue, maybe tying a shoe. Safety first. As Grace ready to go now. Bases loaded, 1 down in the inning. The 1-2. Fouled the other way, and we'll do it again. Grace, the left-handed batter, now back in the batter's box. Bases loaded for Babson. 1 down in the inning. Ground ball. Champness past the dive. 1 run is in. Another being waved around. A 2 RBI single for Ryan Grace. And the Beavers are back in this game, only down by 3. hitting the ball the other way again. And all of them have been right by Cam Champness. And this will warrant a visit and actually a change. That'll do it for Kyle Hoggett, as Trinity will use the third arm of this game. A pitching change in San Antonio when we come back. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University, the third arm of the inning on the mound for Trinity. What was once a 7-run lead is now a save situation for Joey Hagan, the sophomore from San Clemente, California, as he comes on with the tying run up to bat. First pitch to Grindle, ball one. Cameron Grindle has struck out the last 3 times he's been up to bat, 0 for 4 overall. Runners on first and second for the Beavers. Rips one foul, 1-1. Hagan looking for his first career save. Someone who only made 4 appearances last year, already his second appearance of the season. The 1-1. Misses low, 2-1. Last appearance for Hagan, 2 2/3 innings against Wisconsin Whitewater. A strikeout, a hit, no earned runs. Trying to replicate that here, 2-1. In the dirt, 3-1. And Hagan in danger of bringing the go-ahead run to the plate. That's ball 4, and the bases are reloaded. The tying run aboard for Babson. Grindle reaches for the first time today by way of the walk. And now all 9 batters for the Beavers will come up to the plate, as we will have another pitching change, it looks like. Joey Hagan came in to try and get 1 batter. He walks him. The bases are loaded. And the 4th arm of the inning will come in for Trinity when we come back. Welcome back. The bases are filled with Beavers. Babson only down by 3 after they trailed by 7, and the Tigers turn to Will Taylor, the sophomore from Greenwood Village, Colorado. 16 appearances last season, a 7-0 record, a 2.37 ERA. Enters to try and earn the save. And now will step up. A pitch-com issue, it looks like, already, so things just spiraling in the wrong direction for Trinity, it looks like. As Taylor will have to get that sorted out on the mound. Faces a bases-loaded situation against Ryan Hosdovic. Hosdovic looking for his first hit of the game. Takes ball 1. Dave Smith opting for the lefty-lefty matchup. 1-0. Outside, no, called strike. Taylor able to find the zone on that pitch. Evens the count at 1-1. Babson trying to pull off the miraculous. Strike 2, inside edge. Hosdovic, the 9th Beaver to come up to the plate in this inning, as they have batted all the way around. Moses waits on third, Grace on second, Grindle on first. High, 2-2. Still only 1 down in the inning. An inning that has seen 4 Babson runs, after Trinity pitching had only surrendered 1 run all day. 2-2 in the dirt, 3-2. Taylor in danger of walking in a run. The 3-2. Swing and a miss, that's strike 3. And Babson down to their final out. '88 out of the hand of Taylor for his first strikeout of the night. And now the man who led off this inning with a hit by pitch, Alexander Wilson, the last hope for the Beavers. Takes strike 1. Wilson trying to come up with the clutch hit, the tying run on first. Strike 2. Breaking ball finds the zone. Now 0-2. Babson down to their last strike. And time called. Bases are filled with Beavers. They have battled all the way back to get the tying run aboard after being down 7 runs in the 9th. Can they complete the comeback? Swing and a miss, that's strike 3. Foul tip into the mitt of Moss, and Will Taylor puts out the fire to give Trinity the Game 1 win. 89, and a good job by Thomas Moss to squeeze it as the Tigers hang on barely, but they all count the same. Will Helling's 7 dominant innings for Trinity, 11 strikeouts, 2 walks, only 1 earned run. He is the winning pitcher today, and the losing pitcher is James Clark for Babson. 2 innings pitched, allowed 5 runs, 4 of them earned. The Beavers did their best to battle back at the end, but it's Will Taylor who shuts the door and earns the save. 8-5, Tigers with the win in Game 1. Like to thank everybody who helped put this thing together. A lot of events going on in San Antonio right now on the campus of Trinity University. Trinity basketball currently playing at the SAA Championships in Georgia. Trinity softball hosting games today. There's a choir event, a lot of things going on, and our production team working on all of it, all at once, all led by Josh Muchagemba, who does amazing work. For all of those people, I'm Cole Isaacson saying so long from San Antonio, Texas. We hope to see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. for Game 2.